Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another wonderfully exciting episode of Smuggler's Blues. We're here tonight playing the Star Wars Edge of the Empire game in our long running campaign. I am Michael. I'll be playing the character of Ensign Tazi, our grumpy and sometimes drunk captain and smuggler. Kaylee.
No, I won't be playing Ensign Tazi, the often drunk and sometimes smuggling captain. I'm actually playing the Jedi on the Run, Karel, who is lived through the entire Clone Wars at this point, and she and the entire crew are kind of on the run from the Empire at this point. So, Chris, what do you do here?
I get to be the game master.
Ooh.
And I also play R3A1 and 11D4, our two lovable droids that never cause mischief and are always out in the open. Let's see. When we last left off, you guys were getting ready to head to Tatooine. You have to meet some of Jabba's men at the old Beggar's Canyon. Pick up a pod that's going to attach to your ship, head out to the third moon of Ryloth, where you have to drop off stuff. Catch is, Ryloth, the whole system is full of Imperial ships right now, because the Free Ryloth movement has drawn their attention.
Yes. Shall we start the Destiny pool?
Just a little.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey, light side. Woo.
To light side.
Starting strong.
I got one dark side, so
Yeah,
it's always a little bit in there.
just a little bit dark.
All right, so you guys are getting ready to leave Nar Shaddaa. You guys had stowed one of your drop pods there. Basically rented a little place. And anything you guys want to do before you leave?
I think.
I think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, Kaylee, you
Nope.
go.
I was gonna say, if there's nothing, Carell's gonna be doing, final checks on the ship, working with A1 to make sure the pod is correctly stored or stowed, not stored, stowed and secured, and then probably heads up to the bridge before we take off.
All right.
Michael.
I think Tazi is just taking a walk around the interior of the ship for a moment. Again, this is, I mean, ideally, this is kind of a milk run, except for the whole, smuggling part. So I think this is something like Tazi tends to do before big runs. Just kind of take a walk through, listen to the ship. It's like something his dad used to do, his grandpa used to do. So it's just really out of habit more than anything else.
Harking! Dick! I can't believe it's still broken like this. It's been 3 months.
Wait,
Oh, hey,
what's
Tati.
going on? What's going on?
Oh, okay. So remember when the primary buffer panel fell off the ship the last time we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought we repaired that.
We did repair that. The underlying substructure, though, we didn't quite get to. We couldn't quite afford the repair. So now we have some internal hatches buckling a little bit. We are completely safe. We're not going to lose air pressure or anything like that unless we take some sort of catastrophic damage to that point. But ever since we got rid of the ion cannon, it's a weak point in the ship's defenses, and well, I can't even open the hatch at this point, so we kind of had to weld it shut.
Okay. But it should hold up for this, right?
Yeah,
We should
yeah.
be
It's
fine.
just it. I was trying to inspect it, and it wasn't. It's not opening because we welded it shut.
Okay, that's okay.
Yep.
Welding it shut is fine as long as it is structurally stable. We will be fine.
As long as it doesn't get hit by something explosive or high energy projectile.
I think I will do my best.
Yep. If we get shot at, present the belly of the ship. Then shots have to go through the entire cargo pod to get to us.
Okay, present the belly of the ship like a loth cat, right?
Yeah. Before it, so you could want to pet it and everything like that. I
Before
don't
it
think that would
inevitably
actually
bites and claws you.
exactly. And I think
Yes.
in this specific instance, the Empire would be the one biting us.
Yes. I get where we're going with it.
We were the Loth Cat for a while though, but then when the Empire came to pet the belly of the ship, it actually turned into another Loth Cat. And then, why are we working so hard on this this entire imagery?
I don't know. I think I mean, honestly, I'm a little nervous. I don't usually get too awful nervous, but this is a big job, and
I mean, you smuggled
it's
before.
yeah, but it's been a minute since we've smuggled this quantity.
I was going to say done something meaningful, but I mean, if you want to go with that, that's perfectly fine. I was going to come up and tell you we are ready to go, except for this stupid panel. And I mean, okay, it's just
All right.
frustrating me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just it's very
No,
frustrating.
I get it. I understand. You have a right to be frustrated at the panel.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you
your
validating
frustration.
my
Yes,
emotions.
your frustration is valid.
Are you frustrated with anything at this moment?
No, like I said,
I
I'm
can
just
get D4 for you.
I'm
Maybe
just
maybe a massage.
no, I don't. Nope. I need to stay. This nervous energy will help.
You need to be a perfect level of tense. Got it.
Yes, I think yes, too relaxed, and I won't be focused enough. So
Right. Okay. Well, everything's ready. Gunnery pod is open and charged.
yeah,
We're as ready as we're going to be. Have you seen Speaking of D4, have you seen him?
I have not. I mean, not that we see him a lot. I mean, usually he just creeps up on you.
Well, Krellik stops and kind of listens. Okay, I don't hear an announcement, so he must not be near.
You know,
He's
he's been very good about announcing his presence. I'll
Yes,
give him that.
that is true. So, I as long as they're both on the ship, we're ready to go.
Both droids are on the ship. Matter of fact, I got to roll something for A1 real quick.
I'd say, what is A1 doing right now?
He's on the computer.
Uh-oh. That never ends well for us. Or, well, sometimes
Well, I
ends
mean,
well.
sometimes it does.
It does sometimes that's unfair.
Wow. So A1 failed the computer check.
Second
But
best hack slicer in the galaxy. There he is.
But he has 4 advantages. So he didn't get caught playing in the Imperial system or Imperial systems as he was trying to figure out what ships are where. Rolls up to you, Tazi.
But I don't know anything about this.
Yeah. So we're ready to go.
Yeah, I know. That's what Corell was just saying too. I'm just
Thank you for droid explaining that, A1.
just taking my walk around, making sure everything's ready to go. So
all right. The security's really tight in that area. I have no idea what's there. So we're going in kind of blind.
Well,
don't make him any more tense. He's the perfect level of tense right now.
No, it's fine. I already had a feeling that was going to be the case. All the reports from Ryloth have been pretty sparse as far as intelligence is going, and
and I can find
that's fine.
General information that they're blockading and this planet scanners are on high alert and Yeah.
We
So,
have to assume that the forces that we saw there the last time we were on Ryloth are probably there, but now not on our side.
Well, and they've probably only gotten larger.
I guess. So I plotted a course to Tatooine first,
All right. Wonderful. Okay.
and I got a message from Corell's contact. We supposed to look for somebody named Caro.
Caro.
Caro, yeah.
Did they give us a description of Caro?
Look for a heavily armored individual. Probably won't talk much, but will lead us to the pod we need.
Oh, a Mandalorian.
No.
Okay, not that heavily armored or not that reticent.
That heavily armored, but not a Mandalorian.
Okay. Kara with a K or Kara with a C? Or with a Q?
Sure.
Which
I
one
don't
is
know.
it?
He was talking to me. I didn't ask him to spell
All
it
right,
out
Oh.
medically.
Okay, well, I mean, I didn't know if it was. You said you had a message.
I mean, I could call him back and ask him if he
No,
wants the
it's
exact
fine.
spelling.
It's fine.
I mean,
I just didn't know if you got like a message over the HoloNet or it was a call. Just
in the
curious.
future, I'll try to be more
Tazi's eyes kind of
specific.
Tazi's eyes kind of narrow for a minute, and he looks at both. He looks like kind of down at both of you. His red eyes just kind of narrow a bit. His face softens for a moment. He puts a hand on each of you, like he puts a hand on Carl's shoulder and a hand on A1's dome. We got this. Well, we've
Oh
got
yeah.
this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, I'm gonna head back up to the cockpit. We'll everybody buckle in. This will be tight.
Well, I mean, this first part's pretty easy. We just have to go pick it up.
I know, but
I mean, unless you owe the Hut some money on
no,
my
I'm
way out.
saying that it's easy usually ends up something being more difficult. So let's just not talk about that part of it. That's a little superstition on my part. Let's not talk about that. Let's not say anything's going to be the E word.
Eggplant?
You know what I mean.
I know, but I was just going to call it eggplant in the hopes that that would defuse the situation.
What's an eggplant?
Well, it's a plant shaped like an egg. Haven't you ever had one?
I don't think so. I don't eat a lot.
It's very savory.
I don't eat
They
a lot of
grow
vegetables.
in the desert of Ryloth.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll have one when we get down there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right.
Well, we're not going to Ryloth. We're going to a moon. I wouldn't recommend going back to Ryloth. That's not good.
Yeah,
Anyways, hey, A1, remind me to check and see how Kara was spelled when we finally meet him.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I'm
Tassi-
asking you to just remind me. It's not you have to like do it.
We'll do. Got it.
Thank you.
Tazi takes one look at both of them again and kind of shakes his head, and he turns. The Duro walks down the short hall to the cockpit and sits in the pilot seat. Starts making adjustments and starts heading toward the pickup point.
A1 rolls up next to you in the cockpit, rolls up to the co-pilot area, and plugs into the computer, turns his dome over at you. All right.
Carl walks in and drops into her seat, strapping in because she knows how this goes.
All right. You're clear to take off, Captain.
And Tazi engages the stellar drive. Then
Stellar
see.
Drive? Have we been away for so long? You don't remember what the hyperdrive's called?
Well, no, I didn't think we were going. I thought we were at the pickup point. I didn't think we were jumping to the pickup point.
You got to jump to it. You guys are leaving Nar
Okay.
Shaddaa.
All right. Then yes,
Yeah.
I will. Then yes, we will go into hyperspace.
Yep.
You know, here's the thing. My brains was about to say impulse power, and I was like, "That's Star Trek. That's really the wrong franchise. I shouldn't do that." So I didn't.
That's
but
my
then
fault.
I couldn't remember like what just regular propulsion is called in Star Wars.
Just say the ship's engines.
Zoomies.
Oh my God, zoomies. Yeah, the ship's got the
ship's
zoomies.
got the
The
zoomies.
ship's got the zoomies. I engage the zoomies.
Zoomy
No,
factor 4, Mr.
no.
Tassi.
Tazi engages the hyperdrive and shifts the lever up, and we get the familiar wipe, and then the spirals of hyperspace.
Ooh, ah.
Kaleidoscope. Is there any way of knowing to which system we are going?
No, not at all. Anyways,
Cut to the ship dropping out of hyperspace. Unless we are having trouble and get like pulled out of hyperspace for some reason, Chris, which I really hope doesn't happen.
I mean, that depends. If you want to spend the one dark side point you have, you could.
No, I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer not to.
All right, fair enough. We'll save it for later. Yeah, I mean, uneventful trip in hyperspace, unless there's anything you guys want to do.
Nope.
Kind of a short trip because you're in the same area, not same sector,
Yeah.
but
same quadrant.
same part of my map. You guys,
We do move at the speed of plot, so it works out.
you guys drop out of hyperspace right over Tatooine, and you just have to head towards the old Beggar's Canyon. Head down, we
right.
see the ship coming over the dunes of the planet, heading down to a nice little canyon that's pretty well known.
The I've started referring to the Krauts Fang as the double hot dog
All right.
because it kind of like if you look at the frame of the ship, it's like two hot dogs with like a brat in the middle.
You haven't had dinner tonight, have you?
I haven't had dinner tonight. No, I'm
there
starving.
we go. That explains everything.
Well, I mean, you've seen the shape of the ship
Uh-huh.
is an interesting shape. So
It's a Quester ZH25 for anyone who is not familiar with the shape of the Krowitz Fang.
and you can look that up on the internet.
You land out there in Beggar's Canyon. It's just
Mhm.
a nice wide open space. See a couple little speeders fly by as people are shooting random animals. That's what they seem to do on Tatooine.
Hey, did
Is
you
someone
see he
yeah.
bullseyed that one?
Yeah, that womp rat certainly got bullseyed for sure.
Was that a T-16?
It might have been.
Huh.
Definitely one of the more popular skyhoppers, if not one of the older ones.
Wow, there's another one.
Sorry, that was all out of character. I apologize.
Yes, it's 100% the character.
Wow, I am a little bit. I believe someone called me confungry. I think that is what's happening right now. I think I'm a little confungry.
I mean, Luke would be like 3 months old, 8 months old, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Something like that. So you
I don't think he'd have his license yet.
Yeah, Star Wars, they might have.
That's true. Learner permit.
He's got the little kitty, like the kitty version of a land speeder.
He's-
You know, like the
The
tiny land speeder that sits one kid. It just, anyway.
yeah, it's got wheels. So, yeah.
You guys, after 10,
Oh,
15
just
minutes,
1 second, Chris. I have to apologize. I'm being called out for not actually naming who called me confungry. My friend, our lullaby dust, Nikki, is the one who called me confungry. So thank you, Nikki, for calling me names.
It is a
Anyway.
clever name.
It is a clever name. She's a very clever
hungry.
girl.
It's like
Yeah.
she's
Fire-
a very
fire a
clever
few more out there.
girl.
So after 15, 20 minutes, you see a single speeder heading your way, and it's more the style of like a motorcycle without wheels. I don't remember what they're called.
So speeder bike.
Yeah, just a
Yeah.
little speeder bike.
A swoop. It's a
A
swoop.
swoop.
Yeah.
Is it really chromed out like a 50s Chrysler?
This one would not be. It's painted more black. You
Okay.
notice there's a couple extra panels up on the front. Looks like it's a little more armored than you would normally see on one of these. And
I think that's our contact. Very well armored. Like
Was it? Wait, it was with a K, right? That was the name was
could
with
be
a
a
K
Q. We're not sure.
or Q.
We
Okay.
don't know. It's a good remembering though.
What was the
but
name again?
I completely have forgotten.
Guess you'll have to
Caro?
ask him to spell it.
Caro, that's what it was.
Caro?
Yes.
Yeah, Caro. Yeah.
Caro, thank you. And Caro will,
Carl.
I mean, no, Caro.
Carl?
No L. It's an O.
Noel. Okay. Sorry, I
Not
thought you were saying
Noel.
coral.
No, not coral. Coral is something you. This is a desert. Where would we get coral?
I don't know.
You know what?
It was a desert, but I understand at one point it was a sea.
I'm gonna go over there.
And he's
Coral
at,
kind of move.
he's at the door.
Coral goes over and like
You can
opens
see
the ramp.
The ramp lowers, stops for a minute, starts to lower again.
You hear that e.
Coral like takes a foot and stomps down on the thing, and then it just like.
As you guys head down the loading ramp or the ramp, you see the swoop bike there, and standing next to it, very heavily armored. It's mostly black and red armor. He's got a large blaster rifle on his back, pistol on his side, a couple vibro knives there. He has quite a bit of cybernetics that you can see showing through, and different robotic parts that are attached into the armor.
Damn his feet.
And he's got
He's also got to be sweltering in that thing.
Maybe it's got a cooling system.
Oh, that could be.
he's just standing there.
Caro, I presume.
Yes. You must be the Kralit's Fang.
At the moment, yes. That'll be changing, but when we leave.
Yeah, but for now it's appropriate.
Very well. I will take you to where you need to be. And he starts walking towards the ship.
Let him on. You going to leave the bike here, or do you want to put it in the cargo bay?
He looks over at A1. He can take care of it. Continues walking past, and A1's like, all right, and turns around and just rolls himself up the landing ramp, completely ignoring the bike.
I'll get it.
I mean, it was very
Tazi.
nice.
Sorry,
Go
go ahead, Kay. Go ahead, Kay.
I mean, A1, he just gave you a bike. You're just gonna leave it there?
What do you want me to do with it? It's not
I
like
don't
there's
know.
anywhere I could take it.
Tazi walks down to the swoop and like kind of
Well, I mean,
throws a leg over the seat and settles in.
we're going to another desert planet. You could ride it there.
We're going to just drop something and leave.
I mean, what if we got shot down though? We could retrofit it with a droid socket.
Well, then we crash, go kaboom, and we have bigger problems.
We don't
Corell,
have to go kaboom.
Corell,
hang on,
you
he's back.
you
He's
want
back.
yeah, no, you want to drop the cargo ramp so I can load this thing up?
Sure, Tazi. And Kroll like pull out her data pad and enter a couple commands, and you hear the whining servos from the back of the ship. Look, I'm just saying, crash landings don't have to be that bad. You can walk away from them. Any landing you walk away from
I
is a good one.
believe this is a rare chance for Tazi to make a planetary piloting roll.
I was just going to say, as soon as
Really?
Corral does a crash landing, you hear the loading ramp crashes down.
Criff.
Pile of dust. It's still attached. Just made a loud bang. So yeah, go ahead and roll. This is just an average. So just 2 purple dice. 'Cause you're not trying to do
Right.
anything too
Right.
fancy.
I got two yellow and 4 green. There's no black dice, right?
Yeah, throw a black die in because the ramp is a little crooked.
Little wonky. Okay.
Well, it's also very hot. And you're not used to this level of heat.
True. And Tazi doesn't really sweat a lot, so that is 2, 3. That is 2 successes and 1 threat.
Evening is ride.
Yeah, you get it in there. And
The threat is that like pulling it up the ramp, Tazi definitely dings the front front control rod, the front control fin. He catches the edge of the ramp as he's kind of coming up. So there is definitely like a little screech of noise as that little fin catches for a moment.
Yeah, I think it's one of those long, annoying, screeching noises. As it just goes pretty much the whole length. Everybody just kind of turns and looks back that way for a moment.
Yeah, yeah, coming up the ramp there for sure.
And Aro stops and turns around and looks at Corel and then looks down at A1.
He's a lot better in space, honestly. We don't
Mm.
really go anywhere on the planet.
Well, that's up to you, not me.
Let me show you to the common area, and you get a drink, and you can tell us about where we're going. And Kroll will lead him over to the common room.
All right.
And
You head
Tazi
that way.
Tazi attempts to put the ramp up.
Okay. Make an average mechanics check.
Oh boy, Tazi. Oh
You
jeez.
asked. You literally asked for a check on an
Uh.
easy thing.
Okay. Average, you said.
Yep, just 2.
Okay. All right. This is a crapshoot. Um, 1 advantage.
Okay. It slowly goes up. You didn't have a horrible failure, so
Does it seal?
guess you'll have to find out.
On the
Nope.
next episode of wait.
I don't know if it would really tell you right now if it seals.
I think. Well, I mean, when the ramps shut, there's usually probably a pressurization,
Okay.
like
yeah.
a little bit of a like a noise, like as the door settles, right? And I
Okay.
don't think Tazi heard. If that happened, I don't think Tazi heard it. So like he's starting to walk around the ramp. Um, he's starting to walk around the ramp, like trying to see if it's actually seated or not. He gets on his comm. Corel, I don't think the cargo ramp sealed.
Well, what did you hit?
I mean, I didn't hit any of the supports. I just ran the fin along the surface of the door.
How deep of a gouge did you put in the deck plate? Because
Not
that
that
shouldn't
deep.
have prevented it from
It's
sealing.
not that deep. It's
Okay.
a scratch.
Did you remember to cycle it? Once you close it, you have to cycle it to get the seal.
Hold on.
It's the vertical silver lever to your right.
Hold
Well,
on. Hold
assuming
on.
you're facing the door, which I can't
Hold on.
tell
I
because I
will.
can't see you.
Let me make sure I cycled it. I think I did, but let me make sure. And Tazi looks around and goes over and flips the switch and then hits the button again.
All right. It seals.
Okay. And he goes back on comm. All right, I think we're set. We're good.
Okay. We're having a lovely little drink from a green bottle that was in your stash. It's the green one shaped like a pyramid.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's replaceable. Be careful with that one. That one's potent.
Well, I'm not having much. It's more for our guest.
I know. I'm just saying. Just be careful. You don't indulge very often, so be
Well,
very sparing.
I'm also like barely 5 feet tall and like 120 pounds. It's like, yeah, I mean, the alcohol will metabolize incredibly fast. Thank you for the warning, though. Oh,
Well, we've
and
got a job to do, so just keep it.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and you hear Carl kind of turn away. It's like, excuse me, Carl, is your name spelled with a K, a C, or a Q?
A C? Are you writing
Okay.
a novel?
Well, no, it was a point of curiosity.
You
I,
are an interesting crew.
I've never met a Carl with a name like that that started with a Q, so I was kind of hoping like I could mark that one off my list.
Unfortunately not.
Okay. And Carl will put her data pad down and like pull up a map of the area. It's like, all right, where do we need to go?
Oh, I will take you. I just need to be taken to the bridge.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. What's that? A1? A1's like right next to her. Yeah, I'll be right there. And Carell walks out very quickly.
Tazi, after making sure the hatch is cycled, has made his way back to the cockpit.
Okay. All right. You're heading to the cockpit, or you're heading to the
Yeah, we were in the common room.
the common room?
And so Carell comes up the hall to the cockpit, I assume.
Well, I thought you were here.
Tazi like got done in the cargo area and went to the cockpit.
Oh, you commented like you were in the room. That's why I was confused.
Oh no, I thought you were on comms to me, telling me that you
Oh.
had the drinks.
Okay.
Well, I did,
Alright.
but then we were talking about where we were going.
Yeah, but you can take your finger off the button. So.
Oh, that's true. I do that a lot.
Yeah. Are you heading
Absolutely
to the
fair.
cockpit then, or where's Corral
No,
heading?
Carell would head back towards the engine room.
All
As
right.
far away from Tazi, the coming implosion of Tazi, that she could get.
All right. A1 looks at Caro. All right. Well, this way. And A1 leads Caro up to the cockpit. And he walks into the cockpit. A1 rolls up, looks over at Tazi for a second, then looks over at Caro.
Tazi turns his chair toward the cockpit entrance. So where are we going?
I employers don't like me to just give out coordinates. I can just take us there.
You can give me the coordinates, and I can go there.
Well, it was nice doing business with you. And he turns and starts walking out.
Um, Someone else piloting my ship was not part of our negotiated deal. No one
He
pilots the
stops
ship
and
but me.
turns. I understand your concerns. I am a skilled pilot.
I have no doubt that you're a skilled pilot. But again, no one pilots the ship but me. I'm happy to delete the coordinates. We can remove them from the records once we've gotten there. You can stand here and watch me fly there. But I will be the one piloting the ship.
Oh, I would need guarantees that there's no recordings. The droids have to be turned off. And I would have to have guarantees that you would not remember any landmarks.
It's Tatooine.
True?
It's all sand.
For the most part. But there are some key landmarks.
Tazi stands up and moves over to the co-pilot's chair.
He walks up and sits down. Thank you. And he starts piloting. And a difficult roll. Oh, look at that. He gets 3 successes, 1 triumph, and 2 advantages. So he flies very well. But one thing that he's doing as he's flying is you notice he purposely turns the ship at very sharp angles so that it kind of disorients people. So you're not looking at just a straight horizon. You see the ground for a second, then you see the sky.
I'd like to make a piloting. In this case, it would be piloting space roll, I believe, since we are in my starship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To try to not be swayed by the erratic movement.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Corel, it is pretty kind of jarring. Picture
Um,
being kind of on a big kind of amusement parks. They have the big ships that just
Yeah.
swing back and forth. It's kind of like
Oh,
that.
as soon as we took off, Carell strapped in back there. She's
Okay.
she's familiar with Tazi's piloting.
Yeah. All right. So you're saying it's normal?
Yeah, pretty much. I
um,
I would like to remind the player of several episodes where you intentionally rolled the ship several times to try and knock me off my feet.
I mean, true. I can't
Carell,
argue. I can't
Carell
argue
learned
that
her
point.
lesson.
I
All
can't
right.
argue
Sure.
that point.
I didn't ask you to.
Um, what's the difficulty on my roll, Chris?
I would just say it's probably just average because you're not really trying to do anything other than not lose your cookie, so to speak.
No, no. Tazi is trying to track what he's doing.
Oh, got you. Then
Like
that's going to
that's
be
what
4
like.
purple.
Okay.
It's not really an opposed roll, but 4 purple because it is pretty. Like I said, I've been in a flight simulator where they were doing something similar, and it's tough to. Whoa, there's the sky, there's the ground, there's the sky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be quite as fast as a flight simulator that I was on because it was a fighter, which I crashed multiple times. Probably why
I'd
the
be
Air
willing.
Force
I'd be
never came
willing
after
to.
me.
I'd be willing to bet that a starship in atmosphere is probably moving faster than a general fighter.
Could be. Yeah.
Be willing to bet. Not that not that I would win, but I'd be willing to bet. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 successes and 1, 2, 3, 2 advantages.
Okay. So Tazi gets a general course that he's run through here, so you get a general idea of where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes you guys to a series of where the rocks are, and you can see there's lots of holes in the rocks, and it's real rough. And then there's a section that he hovers the ship over, and there's just a large, little, almost crater-looking area. And
I'd like to say that on one edge of the crater there is the wreckage of what looks like two big engines and a small pod.
yeah, and he looks over and, well, we are here. I assume you have the ability to lift that up off the ground.
Yes, we can certainly move a cargo crate, a cargo pod.
Very well. And he walks back to the common room and just sits down. He never
And
has taken off his helmet. He's never, and this is, you've been around, well,
and
Ozzy, you've
what's
been
the
around a Mandalorian, so you
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
well, yeah, I mean, yeah, we all have, right? We've had a couple of them
Right.
on the ship, in fact. Um,
Yeah.
what type is it? I mean, is it Mandalorian armor or is it just is it a mishmash of like armor? Like what's Karo wearing?
There's no Mandalorian markings. It is definitely very heavy battle armor, but it's not in the same style as the Mandalorians. There's a lot more electronics. There's a lot more. You can see cybernetics are
Mm-hmm.
woven into it. And make a hard perception check.
All right. Mhm. Perception's not horrible.
3 purples.
Um, that is one. Yeah, 3 purples. 2, 1. So 1 success and 2 threats.
Okay.
Um, I would think maybe the threats are that Tazi is not being sly about looking Caro up and down, like sizing this individual
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. A big difference is his helmet. There's actually 2 distinct um, eye slots instead of one continuous, like most Mandalorians, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in the visor, you can see that it's more integrated with him, like his physical body, than normal Mandalorian armor. But beyond that, you can't see what's underneath the armor. And
But
Carl
but
is
but
a
most of
big
these
guy.
pieces look to be integrated in some way.
Yeah. Oh, this is
Okay.
all one piece. This isn't like, oh, I stole a leg piece off of one guy and an arm off another. Like, this is
Okay.
all one set of armor
Okay.
that either he made or had made. You don't know that
Okay.
much about him.
Is it pretty scarred or is it in good shape?
It looks like it's been repaired a few times. He's seen some combat, but he keeps it very well up to date and not polished, but repaired.
Yeah. All right. All right. Tazi will key on to the comms. D4, we could use some assistance with the cargo loading.
We'll be right there. Then he turns the comm off and heads that direction.
And Corell, A1, if you could escort our friend, and Corell, if you could come with me to help D4.
Sure, Tazi, I'll meet you there.
All right, and we head to the external ramp to go drop the cargo ramp and get this sucker loaded.
All right.
And and remind me, Chris, is this an actual cargo pod or is this just cargo to be loaded into our existing cargo bay? Because if I remember right, we dropped a cargo pod to take a cargo pod, right?
Correct. This is a
Okay.
whole drop pod. So
Okay.
basically, you're going to just drop the cables down, pull it up.
Yeah.
It's going to just click in place.
Lock into.
And you got to
Well,
seal it.
hopefully it will lock into place.
Mm-hmm. It is uh, rough. The rocks and stuff are very rough. It's going to be interesting to go down there and actually hook the cables up to it. So who is doing which part? Because one person's going to have to operate the controls up top, and there's going to be at least one or two that need to go down and hook all the cables up.
Carell will go down and hook the cables up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would say probably Corel and D4 would be the ones doing the hookups.
Okay.
And
Drop the cables down.
Tazi's probably more supervising than anything else.
They're important too. All right. So we need to make a couple checks here. First, Corel, start with a mechanics check. And as you're being lowered down, I mean, you're talking probably 100 feet is what you're going to have to get lowered down. So it's a
Okay.
long ways down. It's windy. You've got the sand blowing.
Would it be
You'll-
athletics or mechanics?
Well, once you get down there, it'll be mechanics to
Okay. Okay. I
hook
didn't know if you wanted me
into
to
it.
roll on the way down. What's the difficulty?
I'm assuming that you guys would have safety harnesses and stuff so you wouldn't blow off the cables. Unless I'm wrong. I mean, if you don't want to wear a safety harness, you could potentially be knocked off. We know that falling in this game is not lethal at all. That was sarcasm.
What am I rolling?
So if you get down there, it's just a mechanics check. So it's going to be a 3 purple and 2 black because the wind is kind of whipping a lot of the sand up and making it hard for you to see. Excuse me. Try not to cough.
Okay. So that's going to counter that, and that's going to counter that. 4 successes.
Okay. So you're able to hook up all 4 cables with D4 assisting. He's mostly just he's like almost like a kid helping dad, like holding onto the tools, waiting for the next I need the screwdriver, and you're like, here you go.
Yep. And Carell's being slightly reckless and like she connects one, grabs the next cable, and like swings across to the next connect point, lands, walks over to the connect point, gets it connected in.
Okay. Then you're see the cargo pod slowly raising up. Yep. Tazi is just standing there, cheering, turning the
I think
controls
I
until
think I think Tazi's probably doing the whole like little to the left. Oh wait, hold it, wait. But I'm assuming Corell is paying absolutely no attention to what Tazi's saying.
I believe Tazi's like operating the winch, so he's just kind of commenting to himself. A
Oh, I
little
didn't.
left,
Oh no, I thought Corell would be actually loading the like hooking the cables up and then going and operating the
Oh,
winch because it's like a
oh, then she'd have to come back up because you winched her down.
Oh, I had said that Tazi was supervising,
Okay.
Okay.
Then A1
but
can winch her back up.
yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah. So
Probably
A1,
safer, honestly.
That's the I picture Tazi like going down there like he's gonna do some things and then actually like just kind of you know all right, that looks great. Those hooks look secure. All that.
okay. It,
Everyone has that manager, right?
yeah. It
I love the
slowly
people
goes
I
up.
work for.
Yeah. Um, it slowly goes up. Every now and then there's a big gust of wind that pushes it around. A little nerve wracking to be up there. Ooh, that's a good question. Does Tazi or Corell have any fear of heights?
No.
There's a big difference between being in a starship and looking down, and right now you're looking at the ground
No, I
as you're
mean,
being pulled
I
up.
think we've all worked on the ship at some point, like welding and everything else. So
Okay.
I don't think that's ever been a problem.
All right. You guys get it up there, and it gets locked in place. And you guys head back in.
All right,
D4.
I'll verify the connections, and then we should be good to go.
Sounds great.
All right.
I'll go double check everything.
All right. While Corell's doing that, D4 looks over at Tazi.
Captain,
Yes.
do we have a guest?
We do. He is the contact for this pickup.
Oh, very well. Are we making a new relationship with a new group?
No, this is an existing relationship that Corell. I think Corell managed to get us this gig, really. So
Ah. So this is a Republic contact.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know that necessarily this individual is a Republic contact, but this is the contact they gave us for the pickup.
Very well. I am aware that Tatooine is controlled by the Hutts. I was just curious if we were going to be making a relationship with them.
Um, I mean, if it ends up that way, maybe we could be lucky enough. We'll see.
Very well. If you need any help, I do have some memory of my previous employer's dealings with the Hutts.
It may come in handy. We'll see.
Very well. Let me know.
For those who are new to the show, D4 used to be a Sith, a very powerful Sith's droid Friday.
Yep. Yep. He had his former employer was a little powerful.
Yeah. So he had ringside seat to a lot of experiments.
Just a skosh.
Yeah.
A tad.
So D4 heads back towards his little area that he's got set up as the medical bay. And he's going back to doing what he was doing.
Krell comes back around the side of the ship and looks up at Tazi. Yeah, everything's secure. We're good to go.
All right.
That was fun, though.
Now we will we'll begin the second stage of the voyage here. And then Tazi will kind of turn to Karo. Are you accompanying us on this part, or is your part done?
Do you need assistance? I was informed that you guys would be able to do this on your own.
No, that's why That's why we loaded the speeder up. We figured you'd probably want to disembark here.
Very well. And he says, if we follow this small ridge, there's a spot closer to the ground. I would prefer not to drop out at this height. And you would know dropping a speeder out at
Yeah.
100 feet over is not the best idea.
Mm-hmm.
Scaredy cat.
Tazi will head up to
Hmm.
the cockpit, readjust the
Ironic.
seat.
Ironic you call him a scaredy cat.
Um,
Oh, is he a Cathar under there?
Nope.
Because that would be funny.
um, Tazi will sit down in the seat, readjust the seat and the controls for himself, grumbling a little bit as he does, and then lift the ship off and follow the directions Caro gave toward that small ridge.
You pop down there real quick. He walks back towards his little speeder bike. He pauses and looks over. Good luck. If you ever are in the area again, I'm sure we could find use for you. And then he stands there waiting for somebody to open the cargo door so he can get out.
Curl will pop it open.
And he looks down at the nice scratch that goes the length of his front end, shakes his head a little bit, and then jumps on the bike and heads out. A1 looks over at Tuzzy. Oh, that was odd.
What was odd?
I mean, never took his helmet off. Corell offered him drinks. He just
I
stayed
mean,
there.
he's all business. I mean, that's, he was hired to do a job. He did the job. He left.
Just odd.
It's okay, little buddy. Some people, some folks don't want to be friends, and that's okay. They don't have to be.
It's just business.
Yep, that doesn't mean we may not have a chance to reach out to them in the future and secure another gig.
All right. I mean, if we make another contact, we make another contact.
Mm-hmm.
Credits are credits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, be nice to have a few.
Yeah, it would.
Well, we will have some after we do this.
Oh, maybe we should have just mugged him. He's got a nice bike. We could have sold that.
We have a job to do, A1. Plus, you're thinking really small. We could just literally, if we were going to be all, about it, we could just literally take these supplies and go sell them somewhere. But we have a purpose. We're doing this for a reason. The Twi'leks need our help, and we're going to get paid, so it's kind of a double. Corell looks around. It's kind of a double-edged lightsaber, but we're going to be in a lot of danger, but we're going to make profits off of it. We're also going to be helping people, so there's a lot of nuance.
All right. He looks at Tazi. Ready to go?
Yep, let's everybody ready for the next phase.
Yep, it's looks like it's 11 hours to Ryloth.
Yep.
So
Yep.
once you get us in hyperspace, I think I will take a nap.
All right.
I think I might do the same. A1, do you mind watching the ship?
What? Peace and quiet. Sure.
Wonderful. All right, everybody buckle in. We're headed out.
All right. You guys pop out of atmosphere and into hyperspace. Once you're in hyperspace, Corell, I'm assuming you go take a nap.
Yeah. Well, Corell will go to her quarters, just try and relax, and she'll spend a little bit of time meditating, which will turn into going to sleep, basically.
Okay.
As we're getting ready to enter hyperspace, Tazi will turn over to A1. Listen, buddy, while we're sleeping, while
Yeah.
we're taking a little nap, can you
Gotcha.
run
Prank,
some?
prank Corel. I got it.
No, no,
We'll
no,
prank her.
no, no,
No. No
absolutely not.
D4. Prank D4.
No, let me
Prank
finish.
you. Okay. With your prank. Got it. What are we doing?
No pranks. This is serious.
All right.
We just had somebody on her ship that we don't know and I don't really trust. Um, can you run some scans and make sure he didn't plant anything on the ship that might be tracking us?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
All right. If you find anything, wake me up.
All right. We'll do.
Very good.
And then Tazi reaches over. Actually, Tazi heads back toward the crew quarters, and
What?
like comes over to the Corell's door and knocks on Corell's door.
Corel kind of just you just hear from the other side. Come in.
Tazi slides the door open. Um, um, sorry to interrupt. I know you're getting ready to crash out, but I've got
Corel's sitting cross-legged in the middle of her bed. She's wearing like a long tunic. Basically looks like she's getting ready to sleep, but you know that this is the classic I'm going to meditate for a while pose. Become one with the force without dying type things, you know.
sorry to interrupt your meditation.
Nap.
Um,
It's going to be called a nap.
nap. That's whatever you call it.
We want to we're undercover.
I've got A1 running some scans while we get some rest. Um, I don't necessarily trust that nothing was left on the ship to track us.
Right, that's a good
Not that,
idea. I mean, I checked the pod itself, and there were no external trackers, but it could be something that's doing a pulsed, a phased array pulse signal once
Yeah.
we get out of hyperspace. So that's a good idea.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've been double crossed, or at least that I've been double crossed, and I don't, just don't want to take any chances. So, um, A1's gonna wake me up if he finds anything. I'll wake you up.
Okay, that'll work.
All right.
Are you having any sort of like bad feeling about this?
No. This is just precaution. That's all.
Okay, just I've kind of gotten used to you having. Yeah, we listen to your gut.
No. And my
I mean,
gut
except
is
unless you
saying
eat bantha, then we don't. We absolutely do
no.
not.
No, it's probably wise. My gut is saying that everything appears to be all right.
Okay.
But let's just be sure, right?
Oh, and have A1 double check the transponder we're going to use, the ID, because the last thing we need is to show up in there without switching over
Yeah.
from Kralit's.
Actually, if you don't mind, can I have you do that switch before you?
Yeah,
You can do
yeah,
you can do that from
100%.
here, right? You don't have to go.
I got to go up into the
Yeah.
cockpit, and that's fine. It's just
Okay.
yeah, I'll go take care. And Krill like stands up, and you can tell she's not wearing pants, but the shirt she's wearing is like
the shift is
yeah, it's like down to her knees and everything like
Yeah.
that. And you see her pad down the hall.
Tazi will go to try to lie down in the other crew quarters.
The mattresses are all freshly replaced, and again, still have the plastic on them from when we had our guests inhabiting that room.
Tazi lays down on the plastic.
Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
Crinkle, crinkle, and just tries to shut his eyes. He's a lot more nervous than he lets on. The rest is not coming easy.
Okay. All right. So, Corel, you step up into the cockpit. A1's sitting there.
Hey,
he
boss.
turns and looks at you. What?
Oh, you've been promoted for the next 5 minutes.
Got it.
I just got to change the transponder over. Okay, we've got 3. Oh, okay. I don't recognize this one. What is Dusky Dianoga?
That's an old one from another ship that we stole.
Is it clean or?
As far as I know, yeah. It's
I
not
mean,
wanted by anybody.
okay. Well, apparently, I mean, with a name like that, who would want it? Corel will
Mm.
make some adjustments to the ship systems, and our transponder now shows up as the Dusty Dianoga.
Do you
It's
think
for
that'll
you,
be all
and
we?
it's for you, Andy.
Do you think that's all we're gonna have to do?
I'm not as superstitious as Tazi is, but I also do not think this will be an easy run.
So what else do you think we're gonna have to do when we get there? I mean,
Well, we have
what would
to.
you do if you were in charge of a blockade of a planet?
Well, unless we have a serious reason to be there, they're going to stop and board us.
How do we prevent that?
We need some sort of code to prove that we are supposed to be there. You don't happen to have any. Wait a minute. A1, remember that shuttle we used when you guys picked me up? The Jungle Planet, remember? Weren't there was like Imperial codes on that. Did you happen to harvest them?
Darkside Point
I-
says no. No, I didn't.
Ah, were you thinking of something else?
It wasn't ours.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. Isn't that the one that went with somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we gave that to, so we figured they could use it. So we didn't
Right. Right.
take
I
it
mean,
because then they could use it.
I was just kind of hoping we had, their access codes, but okay. Then we're going to have to find a way to spoof some sort of access code to show that we're here on a legitimate business. The other option is we drop out of hyperspace short of the system, and we basically coast in under almost no power, so they don't see us. I mean, if they actually saw us, that would be a problem, but then we won't have any sort of scanner return or anything like that until we get to the moon. That will require a lot of calculations and some top flight astrogation.
Okay. So how do we not be seen
That's what I
by them?
just described. It's if we would enter enter on the very fringe of the system, so hopefully they don't get to notice us. And then we have to plot our course just right, so we'd intercept the moon where it's going to be when we get there. You know, burst of speed, then we shut everything down, so we make like a hole in space, and we just coast all the way there. No energy. Basically shut the ship systems down completely.
Gotcha. I understand what you're saying.
Make like a
But
hole
what
in
if,
space.
right, but what if they have a ship between us and there? We would have to then turn the engines on or run into that ship. I
Well,
mean, it wouldn't hit hard because we wouldn't have a whole lot of force behind us, but
I mean, what the vastness of space? What are the odds that a ship will move in front of us when we're kind of drifting by?
I don't know. I've never done this before.
I mean, if you think about space, I mean,
Mhm.
even for us, it's a giant three-dimensional puzzle. So if the planet's kind of in the middle of this puzzle and there's ships all around it, they're not going to be surrounding it 360 degrees at every single point. All we have to do is find where ships are not and slide through the hole with no power. Once we get into the atmosphere, we have some shielding from their scanners. We kind of bring the ship down, drop it off, and then we bugger the heck out.
All right, got it.
So do you think you could work up that like approach plan?
I mean, if I know where the ships are and where they're not going to be, yes.
Well, you're going to have to do it quickly on the fly once we get into. And Carol leans over and hits a couple things on the hyperspace computer. I'm going to drop us out like way, way, way on the edge of the system. So my plan is that it's going to take us hours to drift in. So hopefully they won't notice us. So you should have time You got this, little buddy. I have faith in you. I'm sorry, if you can calculate every single sabak odd in the entire deck when it's a cold deck, I'm pretty sure you can handle this.
All right. We'll see how it goes.
I
And
mean, if necessary, I'll bet you 50 credits that you can't do it.
Okay, deal.
All right. And she like reaches down and shakes your little manipulator arm.
Then he
If you
turns
have any
around.
problems, oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
go ahead. I'll say he just turns around and starts spinning stuff on the computer. He's obviously
right.
trying to do some calculations.
I'm gonna go take a nap. If you run into any problems or see anything weird, come get us. Tazi went to go sleep in the other crew quarters. It's really weird. From the crinkling, I don't think he even.
He stops and turns his dome around. I think I just saw something weird.
Well, you mean, okay, you saw something weird?
Yeah, you said to know, just let you know when I see something weird. You're wearing almost nothing. That's weird.
I was going to bed. This is what I wear to bed.
Well, you never let me in there when you're sleeping, so I wouldn't know.
A1.
Yeah.
I banned you from my room after you implanted that tracker in my leg while I was
Right.
asleep.
Yeah, just so I know where you were at.
Right. So that's why you're not allowed in my room anymore.
That's fair.
Although I kind of wish I'd let you in when Nacinda was on board, but then I'd have archival footage. That's near the. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna go rest. Okay.
Well,
You
all
have
right.
the shit. You have the shit, boss. And she gives you a salute.
You almost put a T on the end of that word, didn't you? Instead of ship.
Little bit. It's little column A, little column B.
All right. I mean, if we hear the sound of Tazi
Time
sometimes
time
snoring.
passes.
Yeah. So we hear the sound of Tazi snoring a little bit, and
Does A1 find anything?
I already rolled his computer check on that one, so he's not going to find anything new on where the ships are. So he's going to
No,
have
no,
to.
no. That's not the check.
What are we being tracked
Scan.
by anything?
Oh, that one. Sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't find anything. Nope.
Okay.
And I rolled successes, so he didn't find anything.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
would be well. Yeah. So when you guys,
Well, you never said what the result of that was, so I got a little nervous.
I just
I
honestly
thought
rolled
that
and
was
went, yep.
I thought that was a game master like holding their cards tight to their chest.
No, that was a game master forgot because we got into a different scene. So no, that's fine. Time passes. You're coming out of hyperspace. Assuming Tazi's back on.
I think we're all probably back on in the near the cockpit.
Mhm.
Does Tazi notice that I've changed the hyperspace destination slightly?
Not yet. I don't think. Let me double check because I think he'd be. See, that'd be something he would do though. He would like sit down in the chair and make sure nothing's changed, right?
Yeah.
That seems like very Tazi thing to do. So let's do. We should probably. I'll probably do a. Is that a perception check or would you like that to be, um, computers?
Astrogation or perception?
Actually, astrogation's probably the best one, really.
Yeah. All right. I mean,
Yeah.
you're really just looking to see if you notice numbers are different. So
Yeah, I mean
average.
that's what. Yeah, it's checking coordinates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. That's 5 successes and 2 threats.
Nice. So you get a little creepy feeling that somehow the coordinates have changed.
Um. A1. Did you
Yeah.
did you change our approach coordinates?
Nope.
Um. Who did?
Grail. So
Did she
she
did
has
she say why?
because we're gonna make a hole in space.
We just came out of a hole in space.
We're gonna make a new one on the spot, blindfolded, basically. And I'm
What?
gonna make 50 credits that I'm sure none of us have.
What? I Can you explain that better?
We're gonna come out of hyperspace at the edge of where their ship's scanners are gonna be.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna calculate where all the ships aren't, and then we're gonna go with no power, creating a hole in space, and end up where we need to be.
Okay, but Imperial blockades typically don't just scan for power; they also scan for life forms.
Why, I didn't know that. That's true. And I asked Krell what she would do. I didn't ask what they would do.
Well, I mean, yeah, like we can power the ship down, and will appear to be a derelict at best. But as soon as they flip on the life sign scanners, Carell and I will light that thing up like a Christmas tree.
All right. How do we get to this moon and not be caught by what I'm assuming are going to be Star Destroyers with TIE fighters and other ships going around?
Well, when we had that Imperial shuttle, did you happen to siphon off some codes?
No. That would have been a great idea. I wish
I'd like to
somebody else
spend
would
I'd
have
like to
thought
spend a
of
light side point.
that. Okay.
Um, and I think A1's been lying to us, and he did, and he was intending to sell them off
Okay.
to make some extra credits.
All right. He kind of turns his dome side by side. I mean, I stole a couple, but maybe we
A, a,
should. I
a
mean,
couple.
well, but if they've already used them, then it could show up
Yeah,
in two places at once, or
but there's a chance that they might be older codes, but they might check out.
that's true. There would be. Do they ever? They don't ever change them though, do they? Like they
I
don't have like
mean,
a rotating
they
code
so
generator.
so the last I knew, they do change codes, but I mean, we didn't have that shuttle too awful long ago, so it might be a chance that those codes are still active. If they stop us and we give them no codes, that's 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 bad news banthas. But
Right.
if we stop them and give them some codes and those codes check out, then perhaps we can eke by without too many problems. All of the cargo pod is shielded. We should be fine. As far as the only reason we'd get in any real issues right now is if they wanted to board us,
Right. Which we don't want.
which we don't want. So again, I think we're going to have to bluff our way through this if they stop us. But I don't know that drifting through is going to be our best bet.
All right. So we're gonna go just straight through. Rely on your sharp wits and bluffing skills to get there.
I mean, we also have the force on our side.
Yeah. Okay. How's that help? I don't
Well,
think Krill can help us bluff.
wait. Well, no, but I mean, if we let them board us, maybe she
Then they
can.
take the
And Tazi,
Jedi that
well,
we
and, no,
have.
and well, no, and Tazi will make a little thing with his hands. He'll make a little motion with his hands to A1 if they
Show
board
off on him.
us. No, if they board us, Corel can use her Jedi abilities to maybe muddle their minds a little. Maybe let us through.
I don't think Krill's ever done that.
Well, I'm sure that they train to do that. I mean, it's a thing, right? It's something the Jedi's do.
But yeah, they momentarily
They don't
possess your
call
mind,
they don't call
taking
it
your
a
free will away.
They don't call it a Jedi mind trick for no reason.
Oh, you could ask her. I don't. I don't think I've ever seen her do it.
Well, how would you see her do it?
Through my optics, same kind of like the way you do.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I did that as an effect. I don't think that's something that Corell actually has to do to use the mind trick.
No, she just waves her hand and says what she wants him to do, and they go, yes. But we've
So
never
you've seen her do
wave
it
their hand.
before.
No, we've never seen her do it, but I've seen Jedi do it.
Well, then, if it sounds like something easy, she can probably just do. We
Yeah.
should ask. We should definitely ask for sure, because
Oh,
if
for sure.
you know, that might
Yeah.
be something that gets us through this particular jam.
I mean, could she just do it from here and make them think that way from way over there?
I don't know. think I think maybe she has to see them. I don't know. I don't know how.
Why the-
Look, A1. I don't know how it works. I just know that it does work
All right.
if she
Well,
can do it, which we don't know. So, Tazi like leans over his shoulder. Corral.
A minute or two later, Corral walks up. Tiny went up.
All right. So, um, A1 filled me in on your drift past the blockade idea, and it's
Mhm.
great, except for the fact that any of those Imperial ships are going to be using life science sensors.
Well, they only do that if they spot a ship.
Well, yeah, but even if we're drifting with no power, we will still have the silhouette of a ship.
In limitless space, though, unless they see us.
Yeah, but the scanners are picking up like not just powered objects, but also interstellar. Like, for example, right? We might look like debris. That's possible. But if they figure out that we are a ship and run life science scanners, we're picked up. We may be better off trying to approach this as a legit cargo drop.
We don't have any codes, though, Tazi.
Oh yeah, we
A1
do.
and I went over this.
A1 had some codes.
Corral looks down at A1 and just has a very disappointed look.
Oh,
A1 looks back. Can you do the thing that the Jedi do to make people think and do the things you want them to do? Like wave your hand. You know, like Lucinda used to do to you. She'd like wave her hand and be like, go in the bedroom. And you'd be like, yes, ma'am. And just go.
that's a different power, little buddy.
That is a very different power. I do have that power, but it only works on certain people. And since that certain person isn't here anymore, that would not work. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
if you're
other one.
talking about in general, that is not something I'm very good at.
But you could do it if it came down to it. You could try,
I
right?
mean, I
This
wouldn't
is
try. I would have to just do it.
so. This is the
There
yeah
is
because
it's do or do not. There is no
yeah
try.
no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But
It's not true.
I've never been good at it.
I only suggested that if there's a chance we could be boarded, then
Your
that
odds would be
might
better if I just shot them, to be fair.
yeah, but that might be a way for us to get through being boarded, right?
Shooting them?
If you could, and then Tazi does the same thing with his hand, like wiggles his fingers, and if you could, make
Give them
him
a massage?
no,
You're talking using the force to influence the weak-minded.
yeah, exactly.
That's not really a skill I have, Tassi. That's what I'm kind of trying to tell you. But I did appreciate the whole wiggly hand thing. It reminds me a lot of KO and how he used to talk about Tassar.
I figured that might be something that you might have been trained in.
Well, everybody gets the same training. It's just not everybody has the same aptitude. Like I'm sure when you went to school, you were trained in how to pilot a speeder bike, but you're not very good at that. You're just really good at piloting spaceships.
No, I learned that I didn't really go to school for that. That's just something you
That
pick
would
up on
explain why
doing.
you just run into things. Okay, got you. But still, some people have innate talent for things, some people do not. You don't sing, for example.
That's not entirely true.
You don't sing well. You can be taught the concepts of singing. Why am I
Wait, what do you
explaining
mean?
this to
What do you
The
mean I
answer
don't
is
sing well?
no.
I sing.
The answer
I
is
sing all
no.
right.
Let's.
Okay, the answer is no. Fine,
The
I
answer is
got it.
no.
All right. All right. Well then, I mean, we're a crew. We can put it to a vote. Do we want to try the drifting trick, or do we want to try and just pass through with the Imperial codes that A1 said he didn't have, but actually does have?
Well, if he has the codes, that's a much better plan.
All right. Do you, Corel,
Okay, yes, I'm glad you're talking to me now.
can you whip
No,
up a?
Tazi, I cannot do the wiggly hand thing. We just
Why?
went
What
over
is it? What
this.
is it with no one on this crew letting me finish a phrase or a sentence?
Well, you keep stopping in the middle of your phrases or sentences.
Yeah, because I'm interrupted.
Are you done now?
No.
Girl
Can
sits in her
you?
chair.
Can you please put together, or at least cobble together, a fake manifest? For the cargo that we are taking down to the planet, because they will ask for a cargo manifest.
Can we disguise it to make it look like it's other cargo?
A1, he's pausing. Don't interrupt him.
I'm just going to pilot the ship, and you guys can figure out the cargo thing. Just tell me where I need to go. This is serious, and we don't have time to criff around. Okay?
Well, we're still in hyperspace. There's always time to criff around.
Yeah, but we're about to come out of hyperspace, and as soon as we come out of hyperspace, we need to have a plan.
Okay, I thought the plan was to use the credentials that A1 doesn't have, but he actually has.
Do you
That was
think
what I
that's-
originally
No,
asked
no,
him, and
do
I thought
you-
it was a good plan.
Do you think that is the only part of the plan that we need?
Well, yeah, we improvise if it goes wrong.
Yeah, no, improvising isn't going to go great with the Imperials. We need to have a little bit more of a plan than that.
I'm not really all ears because they're very small, and you don't really have ears. Nobody hears really all ears. That's a weird phrase. It doesn't matter. The Force will guide us.
A1, can you put together a fake cargo manifest?
Sure. Do you want to try to disguise the cargo too, so if they do board us, they can see?
I
Like
don't know that
top
disguising.
layer.
I don't know
What?
that disguising the cargo is gonna. We don't have anything to fake what's in there. With the let's see, the illicit items are already in our protected bays.
Yep.
The stuff that's in the cargo pod technically should be all right. But that being said, I'd like to make sure we have something to pass over to the Imperials when if they ask for a cargo manifest that is legit. In
Okay.
fact, we'll make this even easier if we want. We've got a light side point we could use to say that they provided us with a fake cargo manifest.
Okay. Yeah. That works. All right. So we've got that, and we're gonna just pop out of hyperspace, and we'll figure out how everything gets bluffed through or get through on the next episode. 'Cause
What appears in the what
Yeah, what do we
appears on
see?
the outside the cockpit when we pop out of hyperspace?
Corel had changed the coordinates, so we're far enough
Changed it.
away that.
I'm assuming he changed it back.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, we can change it
I
back.
mean, that's what I assume when we
No,
change plans.
no. Tazi never said he changed it back.
Okay, then never mind.
So
But when
we
you
pop-
pop out, you're going to be, I would assume, in deep space, roughly, because if I understood it right, you said you were going to stop
Yeah,
far enough
so
back.
we'd be like a few hours out, even at like normal engine speed.
So you might see some movement in the distance, but it'd be kind of like little dots in the distance. Kind of like if you watch a satellite from Earth, if that
All right.
makes sense. Makes sense in my head. So see a lot of those moving around in the distance.
So the external camera shot is the ship coming out of hyperspace, and in the distance is Ryloth and its moons, and what might be ships, a lot of ships, a lot of specks around
Yes.
the in orbit around the planet.
Yes.
All right.
All right, and on that
Absolutely.
note, we are going to wrap it up for this evening. We are hoping to be back here in 2 weeks. Same Rook and Rasp time, same Rook and Rasp channel. Michael, where can people find out about you on the internet, find you on the internet, or
Well,
what are you up to?
I don't really have much of a social media presence anymore. Most of my activities on Discords because that's where I found my communities, and I'm having a good time there. So you can find me on the Rook and Rasp Discord, as you would expect. You can find me on a couple of productions. You can hear me on. Um, you can hear me here. You can hear me as the narrator on the Masked Rider, the audio drama podcast. You can hear me as the team mentor for the show Tubular Teens with Titans, which is a Power Rangers inspired audio drama. Um, I get to play the character of Pan Vahan, who was the team's arch enemy in the first season and then became their mentor a la Magneto in the X Men. It's been a lot of fun doing that as well. And other than that, you can hear me on other things too. I get around.
Are you going to be anywhere special in, say, 2 months?
I'm thinking about it, but I think we're all going to be there. So,
Oh,
someone else
maybe-
can talk about that.
yeah, that's true. I guess maybe Chris, are you going to be
Yeah, I
anywhere
think Chris can talk about it.
in a couple months?
Yeah. Actually, next week I'll be at the RPG Academy's faculty retreat, where we just get together and play some board games and stuff. It's pretty much open to anybody that's near. I think it's Oxford, Ohio. So if you're near there, hit us up on the RPG Academy's Discord. Otherwise, first weekend in November, we'll all be at a Catacon. I'm going to run an actual Star Wars game there. Second weekend?
It's the
Whatever it
8th
is.
through
Second
10th.
weekend. 8th through 10th. I'm going to run a Star Wars game of this system. I'm also running a Star Wars version of Dread. So if you've never played Dread, it's a game that uses a Jenga tower instead of dice. And it's more of a, think, horror movie setting. So your main goal as a player is to survive, not necessarily to do damage to things. It's to survive, kind of the story. And I also worked out some stuff with some good friends, and we're going to we're going to
Reboot.
redo Geek Trivia. Yeah,
Reboot.
reboot it. It used to be Geek Wars, but we're just calling it Geek Trivia because I don't want to step on anybody's toes and make
Nerd
people
fight.
angry.
We'll just call it Nerd Fight.
Yeah. So Neil, that was part of the Geek Wars in the past, is working with me and a few others on bringing it back, and we're going to have some fun with it and just do some nice trivia. It'll be fun because we're going to do the face-off challenges again, I believe, where you get to do little skits and stuff like that. It'll be fun. So otherwise, you can find me either on Rook and Rasp or the RPG Academy's Discord channels. I don't really do much of the other social media stuff. Kaylee. I almost said Corel. Where can we find you? But that's the
Oh,
wrong
that's
person.
okay. I'm here too. We both cohabit this brain. It's very, very crowded sometimes. You can also find me here over on Rook and Rasp. Occasionally, I guest star in some of the Seriously Let's Play packages, shows, whatever they're called, that our most awesome host John runs. So that's some of the best in indie games and kind of small press games. I also will be at a Catacon in early November. I will be vending there, so I'll be bringing a lot of cool 3D printing stuff, including some new dice trays, which I might as well show it off here. This is, for example, the Necromancer Tome. So it is a 3D printed dice box with an internal tray, storage, all that good stuff. So we'll have that along with a lot of other critters and fidgets and the normal 3D printed stuff. Barring that, you can also hear me on Tubular Teens with Titans, where I play Mrs. Terra, the mom of some of the erstwhile heroes. Apart from that, I'm not doing a heck of a lot other than that. So that's pretty much where you can find me. Find me on the Rook and Rasp Discord or on the RPG Academy Discord. So Other than that, we'd like to thank everybody at the RPG Academy Network. I'm on the wrong station. We'd
Wow.
like to thank everybody. Well, we do want to thank them because Michael and
Yeah.
Caleb and crew are. Oh, you know where else you can find me?
Oh boy.
Next week will be the four shot finale of Finding Solace, a Neon Trails short form story over on the Identico channel. So that'll be our final episode. So they're heading into season 2 and 2, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So other than that, we will be back in 2 weeks here on Rook and Rasp. Thank you everybody for taking part, and have a good night.
Thanks everybody.